What if the biggest victory in the Brown family's story wasn't another dramatic argument, another emotional reunion, or even another shocking breakup? What if it was something much quieter, but far more powerful? That's exactly what many Sister Wives fans are saying after Janelle Brown's latest life update. The woman who spent decades sharing a complicated plural marriage is now living a life that many viewers believe reflects the freedom, stability, and happiness she had been searching for all along. For years, Janelle was often seen as the calm and practical member of the family. While emotions ran high around her, she usually focused on solving problems, supporting her children, and keeping life moving forward. She rarely demanded attention, and she often put the needs of the family ahead of her own. But as the years passed, fans began noticing that even Janelle's patience had limits. The collapse of the Brown family's plural marriage changed everything. One by one, the relationships that had once defined the family came to an end, and viewers watched as long-standing cracks finally became impossible to ignore. While each wife handled the situation differently, Janelle's journey stood out because it wasn't driven by anger or revenge. Instead, it became a story about choosing peace over conflict and independence over uncertainty. Now, months after officially moving into this new chapter of her life, Janelle is making headlines once again. Recent updates have given fans a closer look at the life she's building, and many believe she's happier and more confident than ever before. From creating a home that truly feels like her own to embracing opportunities she may never have pursued in the past, Janelle appears to be writing an entirely new story, one where she is finally the one making every major decision. That transformation hasn't gone unnoticed. Across social media, thousands of fans have praised her resilience, calling her one of the strongest members of the Brown family. Many say they always admired her steady personality, but seeing her confidently embrace independence has given them even more respect for her. Some viewers have even described her journey as one of the most inspiring stories the series has ever shown. Of course, leaving such a long relationship wasn't simple. Janelle invested decades into the Brown family's unique lifestyle. She helped raise children, worked through financial challenges, relocated multiple times, and stood by the family during countless changes. Walking away from all of that wasn't just about ending a relationship, it meant redefining who she was outside of the life she'd known for so many years. What makes this moment especially meaningful is that Janelle doesn't seem focused on proving anyone wrong. Instead of constantly revisiting old conflicts, she's directing her energy toward creating a future that reflects her own priorities. Whether it's spending more time with her children, investing in personal goals, or simply enjoying the peace that comes with making her own choices, her actions suggest she's looking forward rather than backward. Fans have noticed another important difference as well. Janelle appears more relaxed and comfortable sharing moments from her everyday life. Whether she's traveling, working on personal projects, or enjoying time with family, there's a sense that she's no longer carrying the same emotional weight viewers saw during the final years of her marriage. That shift has led many to wonder whether this is the happiest chapter of her adult life. At the same time, conversations about Kody Brown continue. Every major update from Janelle naturally sparks comparisons with the family dynamics viewers watched unfold over the years. While some fans speculate about how Kody feels watching his former wives move forward independently, others believe the more important story isn't about his reaction at all. It's about how each member of the family is redefining life after the end of their shared plural marriage. For Janelle, that new beginning represents far more than a change of address or a different daily routine. It symbolizes the confidence to trust herself after decades of compromise. Many viewers believe that's why her story resonates with so many people, even beyond longtime Sister Wives fans. It's a reminder that major life changes can open the door to unexpected opportunities, regardless of age or circumstance. Still, the biggest surprise may be how quickly Janelle has adapted to this next phase. Instead of appearing overwhelmed, she seems energized by the chance to create a lifestyle that reflects her own values. Supporters say her recent updates reveal someone who is no longer waiting for permission to pursue happiness. Instead, she's actively building the future she wants. But while fans celebrate her progress, new questions continue to emerge. What inspired this renewed confidence? What decisions helped her reach this point after years of uncertainty? And perhaps most importantly, could this latest chapter become the defining legacy of Janelle Brown's journey on Sister Wives? As more details continue to surface, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. The woman many viewers once saw as the quiet peacemaker may now be the family's greatest success story. And what happened behind the scenes during this transformation is even more remarkable than many people realize. If there was one moment that completely changed the direction of Janelle Brown's life, it wasn't a dramatic explosion or a single unforgettable argument. Instead, it was the realization that continuing down the same path would never bring the happiness she had hoped for. For years, Janelle believed that patience, compromise, and loyalty could solve almost any problem. But eventually, even she had to admit that some situations simply can't be fixed by trying harder. Longtime Sister Wives viewers watched that realization slowly unfold. Unlike some of the more emotional confrontations that played out on camera, Janelle's journey was marked by quiet reflection. She wasn't interested in creating headlines or winning public sympathy. She simply reached a point where she had to ask herself a difficult question. Was this the life she truly wanted for the years ahead? That question became even more important after the family's move to Arizona and the ongoing uncertainty surrounding Coyote Pass. What was once presented as the Brown family's dream of building homes together gradually became a symbol of stalled plans and growing frustration. Years passed, yet the vision remained unfinished, leaving fans wondering whether the dream had ever been realistic in the first place. For Janelle, the delays represented more than an unfinished property. They reflected a larger pattern of waiting for plans to move forward, waiting for family relationships to improve, and waiting for promises to become reality. As time went on, it became increasingly clear that waiting alone wasn't going to change anything. At the same time, her relationship with several of her children grew even stronger. Throughout the challenges, Janelle consistently prioritized maintaining close connections with her family. Fans admired the way her children openly supported her, often praising her strength and encouraging her to make decisions that would bring her genuine happiness. That support became one of the biggest sources of confidence during one of the most difficult chapters of her life. Many viewers also noticed another significant shift. The independent side of Janelle that had always existed quietly in the background was beginning to take center stage. Throughout the series, she had often been described as practical, financially responsible, and remarkably calm under pressure. Those qualities suddenly became powerful tools as she started building a life on her own terms. Instead of focusing on what she had lost, Janelle gradually redirected her attention toward what she could still create. It wasn't about replacing the past. It was about discovering possibilities that had once seemed out of reach. One of the most inspiring aspects of her journey was her willingness to embrace uncertainty. Starting over after decades in the same relationship isn't easy for anyone. It means making financial decisions independently, creating new routines, and facing an unfamiliar future without the structure that once defined daily life. Yet Janelle approached those challenges with the same steady determination that had always made her one of the family's most dependable figures. Fans quickly began noticing subtle but meaningful changes in her public appearances. Her smile seemed more natural. Her confidence appeared stronger. Whether she was spending time with family, traveling, or sharing updates about everyday life, many viewers felt they were seeing a version of Janelle who looked noticeably more relaxed than they had in years. That transformation sparked thousands of conversations online. Some longtime fans admitted they had underestimated how much emotional pressure she had been carrying. Others said her newfound independence proved she had always possessed the strength to thrive on her own. It had simply been hidden beneath years of compromise. Perhaps the most remarkable part of Janelle's story is that she never framed her new life as a competition with anyone else. She hasn't appeared interested in comparing herself to Kody or trying to prove that leaving was the right choice. Instead, her focus has remained on building a peaceful future, strengthening family relationships, and enjoying the freedom to make decisions without constant conflict. That quiet confidence has become one of the defining features of her post-Sister Wives journey. Rather than seeking attention through controversy, she's allowed her actions to speak for themselves. For many fans, that approach has only increased their admiration. Meanwhile, conversations about the Brown family continue to evolve. As Christine, Meri, and Janelle each build separate lives, viewers have started comparing how differently each woman has approached life after plural marriage. While every journey is unique, many believe Janelle's story stands out because of its calm resilience and steady personal growth. Of course, none of this happened overnight. The confidence fans see today is the result of countless difficult decisions made behind the scenes, moments of uncertainty, personal reflection, and the courage to move forward despite not knowing exactly what the future would look like. Looking back, it's becoming clear that the turning point in Janelle Brown's life wasn't simply leaving a marriage. The real turning point was deciding that her own happiness deserved to be a priority. After years of putting the needs of a complicated family structure first, she finally gave herself permission to imagine a different future and then took the steps necessary to make that future a reality. Today, that decision appears to be paying off. Friends, family members, and fans alike have watched her embrace new opportunities with confidence, proving that it's never too late to begin again. Her journey has become an example that major life changes, while often painful at first, can also create space for growth, peace, and unexpected happiness. But even as Janelle continues moving forward, one question remains: what does her future actually look like now? Is this simply the beginning of a quiet new chapter, or is she preparing for even bigger changes that fans haven't seen yet? As Janelle Brown continues moving forward, one thing has become impossible to ignore. Her life no longer revolves around surviving family conflict. Instead, it appears to be centered on something much simpler and far more meaningful: peace. For many longtime Sister Wives viewers, that's one of the biggest changes they've noticed since she stepped away from her spiritual marriage with Kody Brown. For years, fans watched Janelle balance countless responsibilities. She worked, helped support the family financially, raised 6 children, and often acted as the steady voice during difficult moments. Even when emotions ran high, she usually approached problems with logic instead of confrontation. That calm personality became one of the reasons viewers admired her, but many also wondered how much she sacrificed to keep the peace. Now, the answer may finally be becoming clear. Without the constant pressure of maintaining a complicated plural family dynamic, Janelle seems to have found room to focus on herself in ways that simply weren't possible before. Recent updates have shown her enjoying everyday moments with a level of confidence that fans say feels completely different from the woman they watched during the final seasons of Sister Wives. One of the biggest priorities in her new chapter has been creating a home that reflects her own lifestyle instead of someone else's expectations. After years of moving from state to state and adapting to decisions made for the larger family, she now has the freedom to make choices based entirely on what works best for her. That independence may sound simple, but after decades of compromise, it's a major milestone. Supporters say that's exactly what makes her journey so relatable. Many people have experienced periods where they put everyone else's needs before their own. Watching Janelle finally embrace the freedom to build a life around her own goals has inspired countless viewers who see parts of their own stories reflected in hers. Of course, one of the greatest sources of strength throughout this transition has been her children. Janelle has always spoken proudly about her close relationship with them, and that bond appears stronger than ever. Whether celebrating milestones, spending time together during holidays, or simply enjoying everyday family moments, her children have remained a constant source of encouragement. Fans often point out that the respect between Janelle and her children feels genuine and deeply rooted. Rather than simply maintaining contact, they appear to genuinely enjoy spending time together. That support system has likely made one of life's biggest transitions much easier to navigate. Many viewers believe her relationship with her children also reflects the values she spent years building. Throughout the series, Janelle consistently encouraged independence, responsibility, and open communication. Today, those same qualities seem to define the relationships she shares with her family. Another noticeable change has been the way Janelle approaches new opportunities. Instead of appearing hesitant about change, she now seems willing to explore experiences that fit the life she's creating. Whether traveling, working on personal projects, attending family celebrations, or sharing glimpses of everyday adventures, she gives the impression of someone excited about what's ahead rather than focused on what was left behind. That optimism has not gone unnoticed online. Across social media, fans continue praising her positive outlook. Comments frequently describe her as happier, healthier, and more relaxed than she appeared during the later years of her marriage. While viewers understand that no one's life is perfect, many agree that Janelle seems to be carrying herself with a renewed sense of confidence. Some supporters even believe her transformation sends an important message to women of every age. Starting over after decades in one relationship can feel overwhelming, but Janelle's experience shows that it's possible to create a fulfilling future without letting the past define every decision. Interestingly, her growing confidence hasn't been built around seeking attention or proving critics wrong. Unlike many reality television personalities who remain surrounded by controversy long after major life changes, Janelle appears content letting her actions tell the story. She doesn't seem interested in constant public arguments or dramatic exchanges. Instead, she continues focusing on family, personal goals, and building a peaceful life. That quiet approach has become one of the reasons many fans now describe her as one of the most respected members of the Brown family. At the same time, viewers continue comparing her journey with the dramatic changes affecting the rest of the family. Kody Brown has embraced married life with David Woolley. Meri Brown is exploring new opportunities while building her own independent future. And Kody Brown continues adjusting to a family structure that looks dramatically different from the one audiences watched for nearly 2 decades. Together, those separate journeys highlight just how much the Brown family story has changed. What once centered around one large plural marriage has gradually become a collection of individual stories about healing, rebuilding, and discovering new identities. Among those stories, Janelle stands out because of its steady pace. Rather than dramatic reinvention, she has shown that lasting change often happens through consistent, thoughtful decisions made over time. Still, fans know there are unanswered questions. Will Janelle choose to remain focused entirely on family and personal growth, or could she eventually open her heart to another relationship? It's a topic that viewers discuss frequently, although Janelle herself has made it clear that she's comfortable moving at her own pace and isn't interested in rushing major life decisions. For now, many believe she's exactly where she wants to be, surrounded by supportive children, enjoying greater independence, and finally experiencing the kind of stability she spent years searching for. Yet, while Janelle's future looks brighter than ever, another major chapter in the Brown family's story is beginning to unfold. As one former wife builds a peaceful new life, attention is once again turning toward Kody Brown and Robyn Brown, whose relationship continues facing intense public scrutiny. Could the next stage of the family's story bring even more unexpected changes? As Janelle Brown continues embracing her independent future, one reality has become impossible to ignore. The Brown family is no longer the family viewers once knew. The dream that Sister Wives introduced years ago has changed beyond recognition, and many fans believe Janelle's decision to move forward has become one of the biggest symbols of that transformation. When the series first premiered, the Brown family presented plural marriage as a lifestyle built on cooperation, shared responsibility, and mutual support. While disagreements certainly existed, the message was that the family could overcome challenges by working together. Over time, however, viewers watched those ideals become increasingly difficult to maintain. The relationships that once held the family together gradually unraveled. Miscommunication, changing priorities, financial stress, and emotional distance all became recurring themes. By the time Kody, Janelle, and Meri had each gone their separate ways, many fans felt they were witnessing the end of an era rather than just the end of individual relationships. For Janelle, though, the ending became the beginning of something entirely different. Instead of looking back with bitterness, she has focused on creating a future filled with stability and purpose. That decision has earned widespread praise from viewers, many of whom say they admire the way she has handled one of life's biggest transitions with quiet confidence rather than public conflict. At the same time, attention has naturally shifted toward Kody Brown and Robyn Brown. As the only remaining couple from the original plural marriage, they continue to face intense public interest. Every new episode, interview, or social media discussion sparks fresh debates among fans about how their relationship has evolved now that the family structure has changed so dramatically. Some viewers believe Kody is still adjusting to a reality he never expected. For decades, his identity was closely tied to leading a large plural family. Today, that family looks very different. While he has spoken about the emotional impact of those changes, many fans continue to question whether he fully understands why so many relationships reach their breaking point. Robyn, meanwhile, remains one of the most talked about figures in the Sister Wives universe. Supporters argue that she has often been unfairly blamed for problems that developed over many years. Critics, however, believe her relationship with Kody changed the balance within the family and contributed to growing divisions between the wives. Those differing opinions continue fueling passionate discussions across social media every time new episodes air. Yet, despite those ongoing debates, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. Janelle has chosen not to make her new life about revisiting old arguments. Rather than responding to every headline or online discussion, she appears focused on maintaining healthy relationships with her children and investing her energy in the future instead of the past. Many fans say that's exactly why her story feels so refreshing. Her journey has also challenged long-held assumptions about what life after a major breakup should look like. Instead of portraying independence as lonely or uncertain, Janelle has shown that starting over can also bring excitement, freedom, and a renewed sense of purpose. That's a message that resonates with viewers far beyond the Sister Wives audience. Many people watching the series have experienced their own turning points, whether through divorce, career changes, or major life transitions. Seeing Janelle approach those challenges with patience and resilience has inspired countless fans who recognize pieces of their own experiences in her story. Another reason her transformation has attracted so much attention is the contrast between her current lifestyle and the uncertainty viewers witnessed during the family's final years together. Back then, conversations often centered on unresolved plans, strained communication, and difficult decisions. Today, Janelle's updates reflect something very different: time with family, personal growth, travel, and building a life based on her own priorities. That shift has completely changed the way many fans view her. Years ago, she was often described as the quiet, practical wife who preferred staying out of drama. Now, many viewers see her as one of the strongest members of the Brown family, a woman who proved that strength doesn't always require loud confrontations. Sometimes it simply means having the courage to walk away from a situation that no longer brings peace. Even so, questions about the Brown family's future continue. Will the former spouses ever rebuild stronger friendships? Could future seasons reveal a healthier dynamic between family members? Or will each person continue following separate paths as they create entirely new lives? Those questions remain unanswered, but one thing is certain: the family's story has entered a completely different chapter. The focus is no longer on whether plural marriage can survive. Instead, it's about how each individual chooses to rebuild after everything changed. And perhaps no one represents that new beginning more clearly than Janelle Brown. From years of compromise to a future defined by independence, her journey has become one of the most talked about success stories to emerge from Sister Wives. Fans who once worried about what her future might hold are now celebrating the confidence and happiness she appears to have found. But there's still one final question that continues generating curiosity among viewers. What comes next for Janelle Brown? Could she eventually surprise everyone with another major life announcement? Is there an even bigger chapter waiting just around the corner? And what lessons has her remarkable journey taught both the Brown family and the millions of fans who followed her story for years? As Janelle Brown looks toward the future, it's becoming increasingly clear that her story is no longer defined by what she left behind. Instead, it's defined by everything she's creating for herself now. And for many longtime Sister Wives viewers, that's the most satisfying ending they could have hoped to see. When audiences first met Janelle all those years ago, she was introduced as one of the wives committed to making plural marriage work. She believed in the family's vision, invested decades into building that life, and stood beside Kody Brown through countless moves, financial struggles, and family milestones. No one could have predicted just how dramatically that story would change. Today, the Brown family looks nothing like it did during the early seasons of the show. The relationships, routines, and dreams that once connected everyone have evolved into separate paths, with each family member building a future in their own way. For Janelle, that future seems centered on something she has quietly valued all along: freedom to make her own choices. Whether it's deciding where she wants to live, how she spends her time, or what goals she wants to pursue next, she finally has complete control over the direction of her life. After decades of compromise, many fans believe that independence is the greatest gift she's given herself. What's especially remarkable is that Janelle hasn't appeared interested in rewriting history or pretending the past never happened. She has spoken respectfully about many of the experiences that shaped her life, while also acknowledging that people grow, priorities change, and sometimes relationships naturally reach their conclusion. That balanced perspective has earned admiration from viewers who appreciate her maturity and calm approach. Another reason fans continue supporting Janelle is her unwavering commitment to family. Even though the structure of the Brown family has changed dramatically, her bond with her children remains one of the strongest parts of her story. Whether celebrating birthdays, welcoming new grandchildren, or simply spending quality time together, those relationships continue to be at the center of her life. Many viewers say that's one of the clearest signs of success. Success isn't always measured by headlines, television ratings, or social media attention. Sometimes it's reflected in the strength of the relationships that remain after life's biggest challenges. By that measure, Janelle appears to have built something truly meaningful. Of course, fans can't help wondering whether romance could eventually become part of her future. Questions about dating continue appearing whenever she shares a public update. Some supporters would love to see her find love again, while others believe she's happiest simply enjoying her independence without rushing into another serious relationship. For now, Janelle seems content allowing life to unfold naturally. She hasn't indicated that she's searching for another marriage or trying to recreate the life she once had. Instead, she appears focused on enjoying the present, strengthening family connections, and embracing opportunities that bring her genuine happiness. That attitude has inspired many viewers. Across online discussions, fans frequently describe her as proof that starting over isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of courage. They point out that rebuilding a life after decades in one relationship requires strength, patience, and confidence. Watching Janelle accomplish that has become one of the most uplifting developments in the Sister Wives story. Meanwhile, the Brown family's journey continues to evolve. Christine has embraced a new chapter with David Woolley. Meri continues pursuing her own independent goals. And Kody and Robyn remain at the center of ongoing conversations about the family's future. Each person's path is different, but together they illustrate just how much life has changed since the series first introduced audiences to the Browns. Yet, among all those changes, Janelle's transformation stands out because it feels authentic. There was no overnight reinvention. No dramatic attempt to become someone completely different. Instead, viewers watched a woman slowly rediscover parts of herself that may have been waiting quietly beneath the surface for years. Her practical nature, resilience, love for family, and calm confidence were always there. The difference now is that those qualities are no longer overshadowed by the pressures of maintaining a struggling relationship. And perhaps that's the biggest lesson her journey offers. Sometimes the happiest ending isn't about winning an argument. It isn't about proving someone else wrong. And it isn't about looking back with regret. Sometimes the happiest ending comes from choosing yourself, trusting your instincts, and having the courage to build a life that reflects who you truly are. For Janelle Brown, that choice appears to have opened the door to a future filled with possibility. Whether that future includes new adventures, more travel, exciting personal projects, or simply enjoying peaceful moments surrounded by family, one thing is certain: fans will be watching with genuine excitement to see where her journey leads next. After everything she's experienced, many viewers believe Janelle has finally found exactly what she spent years searching for: peace, independence, and the freedom to define success on her own terms. And if recent updates are any indication, this may not be the final chapter of her story at all. It could simply be the beginning of the happiest one yet. What do you think about Janelle Brown's incredible new chapter? Do you believe she's happier now than she ever was during her plural marriage, or do you think there's still more to her story? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Sister Wives news, exclusive updates, and all the biggest stories surrounding the Brown family. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.